Good evening and welcome back to the B Team Sports show, I guess now.
Yeah.
This is episode 7 and we have a lot of interesting topics to dive into. But first of all, we're going to pan our socials on the screen here soon. So make sure you guys go give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok, check out our Spotify and YouTube. I'm Jack Kenna, joined alongside Grant, Tyler, and Trevor. And let's just dive right into the breaking news today. So take us away.
Yeah, so, unless you've been living under a rock recently, you've probably heard about the two big moves in the NFL, that being Davante Adams getting traded to the Jets from the Raiders and Amari Cooper getting traded to the Bills from the Browns. So let's dive into it first. Look at Davante Adams' deal, which...
I mean, that was kind of a given.
Yeah,
am I insane for saying that? That was a given.
He was not happy in Las Vegas.
No. Did you see on the Pat McAfee show?
He was
already there with Aaron Rodgers when they did it on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday or whatever. They had him walk in. I
don't think that was a surprise to. It was a surprise to us, but I don't think it was a surprise to certain people.
I want to brag that I correctly predicted him going to the Jets.
I think we all did.
Well, I don't know.
I wanted to see him on the Commanders.
We had a Saints poll.
Who had the Saints poll? Oh, great.
Dude, don't say I'm wild for Commanders.
The Saints wide receiver 1 is out. He's having surgery.
Their cap space is not big enough for that.
And they have Chris Olave.
So I don't think that's a wild.
I mean, but who would they? I don't know who they really would have given.
Yeah, so
in that trade.
Looking at this deal, the Raiders get a 2025 conditional third-round pick. It turns into a second-round pick if Davante Adams is a first or second-team All-Pro and is on the active roster for an AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. The Jets get Davante Adams in the deal, no picks, and they take all of Adams' remaining salary. So that's a big move for the Raiders there, getting him off the books.
Interesting.
Definitely a big move. Do you guys think that makes the Jets better? And do you guys like that trade for both sides?
I think the only people that hate this trade are Davante Adams or Garrett Wilson fantasy owners because now the target
I thought
share.
You were saying Davante Adams.
No, I
think Davante Adams likes this.
Just the fantasy owners.
Yeah,
Well,
it's going to be interesting for sure.
I've seen people say that it's going to help because, it's going to take off. If you're a cornerback and you have a clear wide receiver 1 on the team, you're going to obviously put your best guy on him, maybe double team him.
Yep.
But with both, there's going to be a time where maybe the corner number 1's on Davante, Garrett Wilson gets an easy touchdown, flip the other way.
Garrett Wilson's on corner number 2.
Yeah.
Sounds like barbecue chicken.
My favorite thing to come out of this deal, too, is the Mike Tomlin press conference where he said, we were preparing for Davante Adams last week, now we get to prepare for him again this week.
Yeah.
It's just fun seeing that side of things. Moving on, though, to Amari Cooper. He was traded to the Bills, like we've said. The Browns in this deal get a 2025 third-round pick and a 2026 seventh-round pick. In return, the Bills get Amari Cooper and a 2025 sixth-round pick. The Browns will still pay about $200K of the $1.21 million contract for Amari Cooper. The Bills obviously take the rest.
The Browns got fleeced.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Really?
You think the Browns got fleeced? I feel like this is a very fair. After watching my Broncos trade Jerry Jeudy for a 7th-round pick this summer.
That was kind of like the thing with the Broncos. They re-signed Amari Cooper on a vet minimum 1-year deal, kind of with the assumption that they were going to trade him before the end of the season. So.
Yeah.
I just think I would say Josh Allen right now, MVP frontrunner. I don't think that's crazy to say.
I think he's probably up there.
I think it's him and Lamar right now. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Not crazy.
At the beginning of the year, I was going to say the Bills weren't going to be a good team at all. They had no receivers, and now you give him a clear-cut wide receiver 1.
I would have been. Amari Cooper is a clear-cut wide receiver.
Maybe not clear-cut elite.
Who else is wide receiver 1 on that?
On that team, he's a clear-cut.
Are
you talking team or league?
Shakir's real good.
Gabe Davis is not.
Not Gabe Davis.
Do you think that they're better?
I think Shakir's could be
better.
I know Amari Cooper is a really good wide receiver though, so I'm not complaining. But clear-cut wide receiver 1. It's a very interesting way to look at Amari Cooper, someone who just
either way
interchangeable was washed up.
Yeah, well, either way it's an interchangeable 1 and 2. Yeah. But it gives Josh Allen more weapons, which is what that team needs.
Yep. And Josh Allen definitely deserves it this year too. Doesn't have an interception yet, I believe.
You jinxed it. Watch it. He's gonna throw.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know if that's the truth.
No, he doesn't have a pick.
Yeah, he
doesn't have a pick. I know he's fumbled a few times.
Yeah.
He's a fumble merchant. He fumbles.
Yeah.
But when you can run as good as he can, you'll take a couple fumbles here and there.
Yeah.
And it hasn't affected their team very much.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, the only thing really to touch on with these trades is kind of how do you think this affects the wide receiver trade market with teams like Kansas City who might be looking for wide receivers to go trade for? I know earlier me and Grant just in class were talking about the possibility of Gabe Davis maybe getting traded because it seems like he's on his way out of Jacksonville pretty early on here. And I also know that with the acquisition of Amari Cooper, the Bills cut Marquez Valdes-Scantling, so I know the Chiefs might be looking to maybe get a little reunion with him too. So
I just don't. Other than a few of those names that you listed, I don't know who the Chiefs could trade for.
I'm kind of with you
Christian
there.
Kirk,
I mean, that's a
Gabe
very fair
Davis.
point. I have seen a
any
Christian
receiver
Kirk
on
thing,
the
but they can't
Jags?
take his contract.
You
I
can't
guess,
take
like-
Gabe's then. Gabe Davis' contract. He has a big contract too.
I don't understand why we just want to trade all of the Jags receivers right now. Like, I know you
Well,
guys
it
just got
seems like
Because it's not
it
Trevor
seems like
Lawrence's
it's not
fault.
working in Jacksonville.
It's the receive. Did you see that in the Bears game? There was 4 dropped touchdown passes. I'm not saying that was the difference between the game, but 4 dropped touchdown passes. And I have to slander my king. BTJ was a victim of that.
He was. I had him in
was.
fantasy, and he definitely should have grabbed that one.
That's rough
I
to
would have
see.
won. I would have won my league if he pulled that one in. But
Pretty sure ETN had negative 0.1 yards.
Yeah.
TD
Yeah.
Case, you trying to give me a thumbs up for
you
that?
can't even make fun of Case for that. 'cause
Chris
Case still beat
Olave,
me.
Chris Olave had negative half a yard or negative half a point, and that's what cost me in a league because he wanted to get a concussion in the first quarter.
That's
It was
brutal.
a,
Yeah,
I think
Dallas
it was a rough
Goedert.
I think I
week in
got you
fantasy
next
for all
week,
of
Jack.
us.
Yeah.
gonna
Well, I got
whoop
beat by
you.
the worst guy in our league. So
I'm gonna whoop
Being Case
your
Spears.
yeah,
butt.
but
All right, well, let's move on.
Yeah, we got really off topic there.
Yeah, that one kind of
We
spiraled a
we
little
might have
bit
to
there.
add a fantasy football segment in our podcast.
Or we're just yelling at
Let's-
each other for 10 minutes.
We're happy we're not bringing up Rodney James. That was a big
God.
debate before
we're gonna
the
get into
episode
that
started.
before this episode ends. Believe me.
Hopefully
better
we don't,
not.
because 2 guys over here sound like potatoes
Okay,
talking about fucking
moving
Rodgers.
on. The MLB postseason. It's been pretty good so far.
It's been great.
We
It's
have
been
a-
great.
Yep.
Love postseason.
Yeah, it's been
I
awesome.
will say, I'm someone who really likes cheering for the small market teams, and there's only one small market team left, being Cleveland. So I'm really hoping that they can pull off an upset against the Yankees.
I was
but it does
really
not look
sad.
likely.
Sorry to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
I was really, really, really upset to watch Kansas City and Detroit go down. I don't have a baseball team, so I get to kind of pick and choose here and there. If I do have to pick, it's the Rockies, but they're never in the postseason.
I will give it
Rockies is
to Kansas City, though. Me and a couple buddies went to the game on Thursday, even though there was pretty much never a glimpse of a win during that entire game.
Electric, probably.
It was awesome. There was not a single moment where I was like, I don't want to be here. This sucks. Like, everybody's quiet. Like, no, that place was rocking from the first inning to the last inning.
Yeah.
Gabe, one of our buddies, he was, I don't think I heard him say a word for the last 30 minutes of the game, but he was maybe the only person that wasn't cheering during that last part of the game, solely because I don't think he was very happy.
He was hurt.
He was hurt, but I have loved every single moment of this postseason. I think it's been electric to watch. There really hasn't been a game, well, there really wasn't a game up until these championship series where I was like, this thing's over from inning 1.
Yeah.
The Mets and the Dodgers series has been kind of a sleeper. I mean, the first game, the Dodgers won by
1-1.
9.
The divisional rounds were great.
The divisional rounds were
divisional
awesome.
rounds
The
were
championship rounds were not as good. The Dodgers won by 9 first game. The Mets won by 7 the second game, I think. Like, it was 7-0 and 9-0. I mean, don't quote me on that, but it was like that's been just a sleeper of a series so far. As for the Guardians and the Yankees, I mean, that one's been somewhat entertaining, even though New York's up 2-0. I think.
They can play close games, but Luke Weaver's a weapon out of the bullpen for them.
Yeah.
So
Either way, this is my nightmare fuel because it's looking like it's either going to be Yankees-Dodgers or
Subway Series.
the Subway Series. And I wouldn't hate the Subway Series, but I sure would hate the Yankees-Dodgers. I don't want to
Why?
see that at all.
'Cause
It's just
that's
too
all
big.
MLB wants.
It's too big
Let's not
market
act,
teams.
The
let's
two
not
biggest
act like
markets.
they're not the 2 best teams in baseball right now. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani.
Aaron Judge hasn't been that great
Let's
in the
not-
postseason.
Yeah, but
If he
but we're
dominates
throwing
the
up- we're
World
throwing
Series-
up, we're throwing up graphics that say Ohtani 8 batters away. I don't want to see that in the World
and
Series.
To your point on that, I don't hate that they do that for Ohtani, but I wish they would do that with like the biggest player on other teams. Like if they did it for Jose,
No, I
Jose
disagree.
Ramirez
I
and the
disagree with you on
Guardians,
that.
Aaron
That's
Judge
such
and
a
the Yankees.
like
I don't
ridiculous
know.
graphic. To
I would
throw up.
love to watch Dodgers Yankees, MLB.
You might be one of the
World
only
Series.
people in the United States.
I don't
that
think
I'm
thinks
gonna
so.
go
that
with
way.
Jack. As
I
someone
think-
who
I
doesn't
think with-
watch
He doesn't watch
baseball,
baseball.
With the
so.
options we have left now, I can agree with that.
That's going to be the most entertaining series.
You think the Subway Series wouldn't be?
Okay, wait. I have
It's
a
a
question.
rivalry World Series.
Why is it called a Subway Series?
They're
both
in
in
the
New
same
York.
city.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So
I
just
thought you were
think-
talking about like the sandwich shop Subway, and I was like, are they both sponsored?
no.
No, it would easily be Yankees-Dodgers because they're the two biggest teams in baseball. Everybody knows the Yankees. Everybody knows the Dodgers.
Yeah, but it would be one
So
of the
why
most
not?
boring series.
How would it be
No.
boring?
You don't watch baseball.
I don't, but it's the two
But he
biggest
can tell you
names.
players on the Yankees and the Dodgers. Right? You can do
Aaron
that?
Judge and then Shohei.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everybody
There's
knows
another
Shohei.
big
Everyone
name
knows Aaron
on
Judge.
the Dodgers. It's like
Juan Soto's on the
yeah.
Juan Soto is on the Yankees. Mookie Betts is on the Dodgers.
It's
Like it would be a
it's a
collection
big
of
name.
stars, a collection of markets. I think
I
that'd be a good
think
series.
with what we have left in the possibilities, Yankees-Dodgers is my preferred outcome. I don't like the Mets. I hate the Mets, so I
about
don't
the
want to
Mets?
see them in the World Series.
the grimmest Mets.
Let's,
You
I
don't
think we
like
should.
them?
I think we
No.
should give our predictions for World Series. How these finish up and what we think.
I think if I had to go with my head here, I think it's going to be Yankees-Mets because the Dodgers always seem to find a way to screw it up in the postseason, except for the COVID year, their Mickey Mouse World
The
Series.
60 game.
Yep, doesn't even count.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a Subway Series, but I would honestly prefer New York, LA.
How about you?
I think it'll be a Subway Series too, solely because I'm with Tyler. The Dodgers are the Cowboys of the MLB. They never know how to finish
you
it in
go.
the postseason
That's a great
ever.
comparison.
That is a
And,
good comparison. We'll talk about the Cowboys later. They had a stinker.
There wasn't anything to finish in that game.
I think that'll be what happens, and I honestly want to say that the Yankees will probably take it, and
I mean,
I
they
was
won.
gonna say
They won their
5,
two
but-
games at home, right?
I think so.
Hey,
Don't
at least-
take my word for that.
At least
but-
Cowboys fans have something to look forward to with the Yankees.
Yeah, Cowboys fans are thrilled that the Yankees may make it to the World Series.
Why?
It's a joke about how Cowboys fans are front runners in every sport.
Yeah, they root for like Cowboys, Bama, like so on and so forth. But
Lakers.
Sorry, I'm out of the baseball world.
No, it's
I
okay.
think
don't know what's going on.
probably
it's,
be.
it's going in one ear out the other.
I think it'll probably be Yankees in 5 or 6. Even if the Dodgers make it, I still think the Yankees are probably the better team, which sucks because I would really love to die without seeing a Yankees World Series.
That would be nice.
Okay. So your prediction is Yankees over the
Yankees
Mets?
over the Mets in 5 or 6.
Gentlemen sweep.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go also with the Yankees win. I just think they're a little more well-rounded than the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But if that's the series we get, I just want big games from Shohei and big games from Judge. Judge, like you said in the postseason, has not been
No.
career-wise. He's just not been a very good postseason player.
But Stanton's been carrying
But
that team on their
Stanton
back.
is electric.
He's been great.
Stanton looks like the stereotypical villain in every baseball
Yeah.
movie, and I do love that.
It's been great.
I mean, he's so good.
So that should be entertaining to watch.
He is so
I
good.
will say I don't want to see Jazz get a ring after his
I hate Jazz
smack
Chisholm, bro.
talking
I
to the
hate
Royals.
Jazz Chisholm. I cannot stand that guy, bro.
We'll move on from the Jazz Chisholm slander right now and start talking about some college basketball. The season is right around the
Here we
corner.
go.
And for
and
the Jayhawks, it's already over because we got
the AP poll has dropped. Kansas is AP poll number 1 for the second straight year. There are 6 Big 12 teams in the top 25, 5 of them being in the top 10. So let's talk about this AP poll a little bit. I'll give you guys time to kind of throw it up here.
So,
What are our opinions on KU
So-
being number 1 and what do we have?
real quick, the KU thing, I like how you linked this Twitter post because I was going to talk about it. I just
didn't
forgot
do
what
it.
it was.
I did that, yeah.
I saw that earlier today. These are the past outcomes after Kansas has been number 1 in the
Preseason.
AP poll preseason. In 2023-24, we lost in the second round. 2018-2019, we lost in the second round. 2009-2010, lost in the second round. 2004-2005, lost in the first round. We have never made it past the second round as a preseason number 1.
You know
Ever.
what? This
Under
year
Bill
it changes.
Self.
It
Under Bill
changes.
Self.
Why
I've
does it
decided.
change?
Because I want to win a championship while I'm at this school. All right.
Well,
Okay.
it doesn't
Well-
look great because I'm pretty sure it's been since 2009, UNC in 2009, that the preseason AP poll number 1 team actually won the Natty that year.
Okay, but KU has a low.
So yeah, our roster
But
is
it-
I
loaded.
was,
but
I
you
was gonna
can't-
absolutely dog that because I was like, no, UConn did it last year, but no, they didn't because Kansas was preseason number 1.
Yep.
So yeah, let's just kind of get our thoughts about not only Kansas but this entire AP poll. Who do you guys think are rated too high? Like, what are our first thoughts on this first poll?
I'm going to jump in right away. Sorry, Tyler.
No, go for it.
I think Gonzaga's way too high. I
You
think
think
it's
they
the
are?
same thing every year where they get rated
Okay.
super high. They
Yeah.
go into it, and they just don't. I don't
do-
think 6. I think 6 is way too high for them.
I am going to start a little movement. There are 2 teams here that are horrifically low, and 2 teams that I
Don't-
both have in my final 4.
Don't say.
I have Duke at number 7. They're too low. That team
I
is
agree.
amazing.
I agree.
That team is really talented. They have Cooper Flagg coming in. That team's
What's
so
your
damn
second
good.
one?
The team right under them, Baylor.
Okay, that's fine.
Duke and Baylor. Baylor.
What were you
like,
thinking?
Baylor might be the best
get
team in
to
this
it.
entire conference.
Really?
And
Ugh.
The Big 12 is a
I don't
toss-up,
hate
though,
that.
because all
That-
those teams are good.
All of those teams are good. You look at Kansas, you look at Houston, Iowa
State.
State. I think I had Baylor. I dropped my Big 12 preseason rankings, and I had Baylor 2 behind Kansas, and I think Baylor's good enough to win the whole thing. However, I also think Houston's good enough to win it, and Kansas is good enough to win it. I think Iowa State's going to have a little bit of a fallback year.
I'm
But
with you on
I
that.
think Duke and Baylor are just rated a little too low.
One team that I think is rated too high is Purdue. I mean, they were Zach Edey merchants. That's their entire game plan was to give the ball to Zach Edey.
I am looking forward to seeing how they are post Zach Edey, though, because I think it can open things up.
I don't
for
think
him.
they'll be ranked in the top 25 by the end.
Did
of
you
the
guys
season.
watch their charity game?
I
By
did
No,
chance?
I didn't.
No.
I don't watch Purdue unless I have to.
They
point.
didn't look very good.
Yeah, I'm sure they
They
did.
have an exhibition charity against Creighton coming up next week, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure. But they posted practice clips, and it just did not look very good.
I
And
believe
then
that. I mean,
Another team that looked really, really bad in their exhibition, they just played Rhode Island a few nights ago, was UConn.
Really?
UConn's going to take a huge step back. Like I predicted, I think the Big East is going to be a lot more open than it has been in the past. I don't think you guys are crazy for still having them as your Big East favorite because it's a Dan Hurley UConn team.
Yeah.
But that team just did not look as, not confident, but that team just kind of struggled a little bit. So-
interesting.
And at the end of the day, too, with the preseason polls, you're never going to know until the season starts. You see it with football and you see it with basketball.
You can,
every
yeah,
year,
you can critique
obviously.
it. You can critique it as much as you want, but it'll never end up how you.
I
think
think
it
I think
have
if
a-
you're going by rosters, which is kind of how we're looking at it now, KU
Mm-hmm.
definitely has one of the best, if
I would
not
say
the
the
best
best
roster.
I think they have the
If
deepest.
we're going to go by roster,
Deepest 100%.
Two.
Because
if
we
we're
have
going to go by roster, Duke at 7's crazy.
Duke at 7
No,
is insane.
and I agree.
Duke
I agree
should
with
be
that.
5 or above, in my opinion.
100%.
I think
I
it's
think
just.
top-
I think it's the fact that
think
they
top
lost
4.
their like 2 of their best players, and all they have left. They still have R.J. Davis, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
RJ, wait.
Yeah,
who are you
UConn
talking
or
about? Are you talking-
North Carolina.
Yeah,
has.
North. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Who are you talking about?
Nope,
what
that's
team? Alabama.
I got
They
mixed
have
up.
Mark Sears.
Okay.
So yeah, you were right. They do still have their All-American.
Okay.
I am going to an article that I'm releasing for the UDK is coming out very soon. I talk about Kansas. I did a basketball preview for KU, and I just said Kansas has an assortment of riches. They have so many dudes who can start on
great
that
way to
team.
put
They're
it.
interchangeable. It's a really good, deep team. This KU team actually has 8 players who played more than 20 minutes a game a season ago.
How
Really?
Many, do you know by chance how many we have on the active roster? I think it's like 18 or 19, something. I saw
19.
on Twitter. It's
For
19.
KU?
19.
Yes. The thing I like about this team and that I didn't like last year, we saw it. You know, there'd be games where some of our star players, Kevin McCullough, he'd have an off game, and instead of getting somebody else out there for him or having him just take a role player spot for the game, he decided to play hero ball, and that hurt the team.
It was
so
hero
much.
ball, and we had no bench last
Exactly.
year.
And
Yeah,
the reason why we
exactly.
didn't have a bench last year is because we were in that scandal a
Yeah.
few years ago that took 3 of our scholarships away.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bill Self went in media day and was like, hey, we had these 3 extra scholarships. We had room to bring more people in.
Yeah.
And he did that. To his credit, he did that, and he did a very good job. 6 transfers coming in, 2 freshmen, and then a walk-on. So we have a full team. We have a team that's ready to compete, and hopefully
It's hard to say that any roster is injury proof, but I think KU is as injury proof as you can really get it. Where you can
knock
lose.
on wood, right?
Knock
Yeah,
on wood.
I mean,
but
I don't.
You can have Hunter
No
Dickinson sprain
team
an
is-
ankle and be out for 2 games, 2 weeks even, and you'll probably be fine. Last year, it's the exact
think
I wouldn't
opposite.
say Hunter Dickinson. You can't
Okay.
say he's.
We don't have
You're
a
right.
well.
we don't
But-
have
we
a
have-
Hunter
we have
Dickinson.
My
Lori.
point.
Yeah.
My point is last year we lost Hunter Dickinson or Kevin McCullough and we wrote those games off. We knew we
Yeah.
were losing those games.
well, it's
this
funny,
year
towards the end of the year, we started
have a
writing
chance.
games off, and we had those guys.
Yeah.
Like
Any road game.
that team was just not.
That's what I want to see this year.
out.
I want to see this team
Set the tone on the road.
set the tone on the road, go into road games and play Kansas basketball. Like you
Yeah.
are a blue blood basketball program. Go play those games away. And what I don't want to see too is there's a lot of games last year where we're playing maybe not a good team. We knew we were going to get a win, and it wasn't a pretty win.
Well, we played. One thing that I thought is we played to the competition. We didn't play to
100%.
our like skill level.
And,
like if we were playing a bad team,
we
we would
lost.
play. We played down to them, and then we ended up like the UCF game is a great example
Oh,
of
yeah,
that.
the
I feel
UCF
like
game was bad.
that's a game
BYU.
we should have won by
BYU
like
was a
I don't know,
terrible
maybe
game.
maybe 15.
No.
Like and we
Some
lost.
Of those games we lost because the other team just shot the hell out of the ball.
And free throws.
Well, there's and
K-State we lost because of free throws
And
at K-State.
I
That
feel
was-
like the one thing for every team that plays Kansas, at least, is there's always that one guy who just goes absolutely nuclear
Yes.
and does not miss a shot for the entirety of the game. And that is maybe the most frustrating thing to watch as a Kansas
Especially
fan.
because you're sitting there and you're like, okay, somebody pick him up.
Somebody
and he's
guard him,
so open.
and then he's open every time.
And there's nothing I can do but just
ridiculous.
yell at the TV screen, and
Yeah,
it's
right?
a helpless feeling. And
Oh,
I like
it's awful.
feeling like
like
that.
my girlfriend tells me, they can't hear you.
Yeah, right?
I'll just be yelling, and she's like, "What are you yelling at?" They can't hear you.
Dude, I don't care if they can't hear me or not. They're going to hear me one way or another.
So I have in front of me Ken Palm, some basketball analytics, preseason basketball analytics. If you guys don't know what they are, they look at adjusted offensive efficiency, adjusted defensive efficiency, and I just want you guys to take a guess on where KU is. I know Grant's got it up right now, but where do you
I
guys
was gonna say,
think?
I pulled up the
Oh,
Ken
we all
Palm
have it
too.
up?
Yep.
I already knew what it
KU
was
is
before I
6.
even looked, yeah.
Actually, KU is 6 on Ken Palm, and they're the second highest Big 12 team behind Houston, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody who's looked at all of these things. Houston is an analytics merchant. They always are at the top of these Ken Palms. But we're behind Duke, Auburn, Alabama, and UConn. What are your guys' thoughts about that? I feel like all the human polls really love KU, and
I think-
all of these analytics just they don't think we're going to be as good as we hope we are.
Well,
Well,
Auburn,
6 is not like anything to be like disappointed about by any means.
And it's all preseason stuff.
yeah,
It's-
I think Auburn's just kind of like the outlier. If you look at that top 10, maybe
You think?
Purdue too.
I don't like Auburn very much, but I
Auburn
also
at 3.
You don't like a Bruce Pearl team?
I don't like Bruce
mean,
Pearl,
Auburn-
but I like
Auburn's
his
11
teams.
on
I have
the
not heard anything about
people.
Auburn basketball in years.
Then
I
you've
don't
been
think.
sitting under
Janiah
a
Broome?
rock because he's been.
Janiah Broome could questionably be player of the year.
Nah, we got Hunter Dickinson.
Nah.
Nah.
I mean,
I just think I like SEC wise. Obviously, Alabama's above, or no, Alabama's below Auburn. And I think Alabama's going to win the SEC personally.
Me too.
It's either Alabama or Texas.
Something that I noticed is our schedule. Like, we do not have an easy schedule this year. We have a tough schedule.
I
And this
like
is a
that.
schedule where if we go out and, let's say we do slide by North Carolina by a few points, I'm okay
That
with
game's
that.
going to be great.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. We've
No,
got number
don't even
7
put Michigan
Duke,
State on
15
there.
Creighton, 20
good
Cincinnati,
team.
5 Iowa
they're
State,
not.
4 Houston, 8
Don't
Baylor,
disrespect
5
Islam.
Iowa State, and then we end the year with Houston, number 4, and number 10 Arizona. Like,
It's
that
a
is-
loaded schedule.
Yeah.
And that's
I
what
like
I-
That's
that,
what you're
though.
going to get day in and day out of the Big 12.
And that's what I like though. 'cause
Basketball conference.
Nothing's worse than having a great season and everyone's like, dude, you had such an easy schedule. Like, you get into the and it sucks when you get to the playoffs and you've had an easy schedule and then you get just destroyed.
Yeah.
And so I think if KU can win, make playoffs, go to March Madness, they're going to be battle tested and they.
Yeah.
If this is really the team we think it is, they're going to learn from these battles, and this hard schedule is going to help them more than it would hurt them.
Yeah.
Speaking of battles, the mom game of the week last week for college football was Oregon versus Ohio State.
We went to 100-0 real quick there.
Yep.
That was a great game.
It was a great game.
That was
Real quick, before we dive into anything else, a rule change was already made because of this game from
Really?
the NCAA. As some may know, Dan Lanning put out 12 men on the field on defense on that final drive against Ohio State on purpose. And
Why did
as
you
a-
do that?
so you put
Well,
out
I know he did, but why did you do it on
Okay,
purpose?
so the thought behind it was you put out 12 men on the field, you're able to cover more. It's a 5-yard penalty, and the clock doesn't reset or anything. So all that time that Ohio
Isn't there
State
a
spent on that
runoff?
play, not when you're on defense.
Okay.
But all the time that it took Ohio State to run that play and try and get a receiver open when you have an extra guy in the secondary was wasted
Do we think he's a genius for that, or he just didn't?
He is
know?
absolute. No, I
It
think
was like
he
it was
did on
like
purpose.
third and like 30 or 25.
it was
and
third
he
and
just
long.
had to give up he gave up
Yeah,
a
no,
5-yard
I know.
penalty.
I knew what happened.
Yeah.
What's the rule change?
So the rule change now is if that happens inside the last 2 minutes of the game, then they will reset the clock back to what it was before and give the 5 yards.
I think it needs to be more than 5 yards then. Like obviously, I guess if it's
I
an
think if it's
accident,
resetting the clock, then it's fine.
Yeah, I'm with
Because
Tyler.
now it won't be done intentionally.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting rule change. I just thought Ohio State lost that game themselves. I get
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah, I don't-
Oregon coach being a genius for all of this, but I mean, Ohio State just did not play up to their potential on
They
defense.
never do. They never do under the Ryan
The lights
Day
are too
era,
bright. The
they
lights
have
are
not-
too bright every time during big games.
Will Howard sliding with 0 on the
That was the
clock.
funniest thing
I
I've
feel
ever
bad for him
witnessed in
because
my
he definitely,
life.
he definitely
I don't.
He
looked
didn't,
up.
he didn't have a bad game either.
He definitely looked up, saw 1 second, was like trying to get down, call the timeout, and it was just too
He
little,
looked
too late.
stupid. He looked
Yep.
stupid, and
Yep.
but why
get
are
the
you
thought behind
scrambling
it.
though with that? You know, snapping the ball that there is not a lot of time left. He snaps it. He didn't snap it and immediately run. I don't think.
No, he sat in the pocket for
Yeah.
a
Sat in the
minute.
puck. You know what you should have? Was it 4th down?
No,
Third down. It was
You know what
that-
you
it was
do?
after.
If no one's open, throw it out of bounds,
Yeah,
and then try one final
Yeah.
play on
But I
fourth,
don't
rather than running.
blame him for trying to get some yards and make a Hail Mary try a little
There's
bit
not
better.
enough time for that.
You should know that as a starting quarterback in college
But he had,
football.
I agree with you. He did not have enough time. He had 6
You can-
seconds
hey,
with
what
one
are you
timeout.
defending then?
You
He
can take
slid
the
down because
quarterback-
he knew he had that timeout and he thought 1 second left, call the timeout, get the Hail
He
Mary off.
slid when it was about 3 seconds when that clock hit 0. That he slid about 3 seconds after the
3
clock
ticks.
hit 0.
Yeah, that's not.
Like-
he thought there was a second left.
It's
That's-
not like, oh, he thought there was a second left, let me slide. Like, no, there was not,
would've
very
been-
obviously not a second
It
left.
would have been different too if he didn't slide. And he tried to run out of it and tried to make a play, but he didn't, and he just slid. And that goes to show that he didn't have any situational awareness, and that's hard to see out of your starting quarterback.
ridiculous.
It's definitely rough
all I
and
know
reflects
is
on coaching.
you can take the quarterback out of K-State, but you
Can't
can't
take the
K-State
K-State out of the quarterback.
He didn't have a bad game. 326 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Sadly, that got overshadowed by Ohio State's paper of a defense. That defense was bad.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. Texas, number 1 Texas, dominated Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry.
As we thought they would.
Yeah.
Yep, we 100% didn't think
I remember coming, sitting right here in this chair last week saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Texas wins this game by more than 15.
And I called you crazy.
Okay, then it was me and you, because I said they were covered.
I said that they were going to cover that game. I think one of our talking points last week.
Do you want me to pull it up?
I think
Kinda.
I
Yeah.
think
I thought
one
you
of
were
our
with me.
talking
Because I know
points-
I went with Texas. I'm a Texas supporter.
One
this
of our
year.
talking
I said
points last
I said
week
Texas was
was,
covering. Oklahoma sucks.
is this going to be a game where Oklahoma makes it a fight because it's a rivalry, or is this going to be a game where Texas just kind of walks them and marches all over them? And they did that. They did that.
I was stunned, to be totally honest. I thought that was going to be a great game. I feel like it always is a great game, but
And what happens now is all this momentum goes into Georgia week.
and they need that going against.
Well,
that.
we'll talk
I
about
don't
that
think.
later.
I mean,
but-
Georgia's
obviously
a
you
hungry
need
team
it.
now.
They're a hungry team, but I think this Texas team is just
better.
Yeah,
I think
They're
I think
number
the
1 in the
favorites.
country for a
I
reason.
think they're the favorites to win the national championship right now. I think they're the
I
best
agree
team in
with
college
that.
football.
I think if they're gonna lose a game in the regular season, I have to pull up their remaining schedule.
It would probably be the Georgia
While,
game.
while you're
It
doing
would probably
this,
be
while you're doing
the Georgia
this,
game. I don't see.
We
I think
talk-
they maybe play. They play A&M, which could be a tough one because at A&M.
we talked about this on the first episode of the podcast where we were going through schedules. We all said Texas. They besides a few hard games, they had a pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
especially
And
for
I think-
SEC.
I think they were.
mean,
more,
they got-
I think
they
they
have
were
Vanderbilt.
100% ready to SEC.
They have Vanderbilt the week after.
Could you
Georgia,
imagine
so
what would have happened if they were still in the Big 12 this year?
They
I
would
mean,
have
obviously they
walked
wouldn't have.
everybody.
Yeah, it would have been
It
a
would not have
cakewalk.
been. Yeah.
Could you imagine a KU
fact that
versus
our-
Texas football game?
Well, the fact that the Big
would've
12
lost by a
favorites
million.
was Utah preseason, we have Texas doing what they're doing now in the SEC.
Oh,
Crazy
that would have been
work.
bad.
Yeah.
That would have
Crazy
been
work.
that game. I don't know if I would have
Crazy
watched. I might have just been like, "We'll take the L."
We have some problems down in Los Angeles. Penn State snuck out a 33-30 win at USC. Lincoln Riley, is he a Caleb Williams merchant?
I just don't think Lincoln Riley's a great head coach. I think he's a good coordinator. He's
Yes.
great at offense, but
There's problems with USC.
Yeah, 100%.
right? Whether we're going to blame it on Miller Moss or the defense or the line, or we're going to blame it on Lincoln Riley, something has to change. Like, I love this. I'm a Notre Dame fan. There's nothing more I love than watching USC and Michigan struggle.
Yeah.
But, like, if USC wants to survive in the Big Ten, like, when we talked about that Minnesota game, how fun is it watching a team like USC, high historic program, get dominated by a PJ Fleck Minnesota team?
It's awesome.
It's like, but now they go Penn State, I know, is not rock bottom. They're real damn good.
Yeah.
But, like, at home,
Not a great look.
knowing you have to get a win to keep your season, like, your hopes alive for the playoffs?
Yeah.
Come on.
Not a great look at all.
Well, I did love that play out of Penn State.
That was sick.
I can't pronounce our old offensive coordinator's last name.
Kolecki?
Kolecki. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kolecki? I don't know.
If that, I don't know.
But that play where tight end snaps the ball.
That was elite. That was
That's
awesome.
and I can't believe that worked either. That just, when plays like that are going your way, where you call the trick play and it's still a jump ball and you just come down with it, it's hard to lose those games.
So funny.
Now, what is going on in Alabama? They lose to Georgia.
They should have lost to South Carolina.
Or
I thought- no,
they
they
beat
yeah. They
Georgia.
beat Georgia.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They lose to Vanderbilt, get embarrassed by Vanderbilt, and then they squeak out a 27-25 win over South Carolina. What's going on down there? Is it just the SEC? Are the SEC teams getting better? Are they just not as good as we originally thought they were?
You can't
Is it just
say-
catching up to them? What's going on?
You can't say that the SEC teams are getting better. It's more.
I think you
they?
can.
How do you?
I think you
I think
can.
the talent nationwide is getting better.
Thank you. And I'm
Okay.
going
Like
to. I'm going
like
to.
league-wide
I'm going to
talent.
piss you
College
off.
football is getting better.
I'm going to piss you off because Matt Rule came out in a press conference,
gee.
said the exact same thing. NIL is making college football more like the NFL in terms of now the talent can be more spread out. More schools can pay players to go there, and that's what you're seeing. Now, I also don't think we would care as much about the South Carolina game had Alabama beaten Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
but I think we're
obviously.
all in panic mode about them.
I
South
think-
Carolina
I
is a
think
tough
it
place
still
to
would've
play.
been
What
on
I'm
a
saying is
rundown.
it's an entirely different coaching staff.
It
know,
is.
it's
It's an
a different
entirely
Alabama.
different coaching
It is.
staff.
Call me
It's
crazy.
an entirely
But
different offense.
I think
it's an
Kalen
entirely
DeBoer-
different team.
I think Kalen DeBoer is better suited for the NIL era than Saban.
And I absolutely don't agree with you, but let me tell you, Saban's not losing to Vanderbilt.
He is not.
Saban's not making a close game with South Carolina. Whether he's better suited or not, it doesn't matter because
guys,
Saban.
You
think
can't
about
say that 'cause
NIL era.
under Saban last season they had a close game at South Florida.
No, they did not.
Yes, they
It
did.
was close for the first half. For the first half of the game.
The great thing about NIL era and Nick Saban was, I'm sorry, it's Nick Saban.
Well, if
He
we're talking
he
about that,
offers-
then why are we not talking
he
about Dabo
offers you-
Sweeney?
He offers
Clemson.
you,
That's
you go
different.
there. If Nick Saban were to offer you, so I'm Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm going to Bama.
I don't
It's
care
not
about
hard to
nothing
recruit
but
at
the
Alabama.
Tide.
Is it?
It's not hard to
Am
recruit
I the
at
only
Alabama.
one who thinks it's crazy that we're trying to compare Dabo Sweeney to Nick Saban?
I wasn't
right now?
comparing Dabo
Okay.
Sweeney
Dabo
to Nick
Sweeney-
Saban.
The thing
The
about
point
Dabo
you brought
Sweeney
up
is
was
he
that
just refuses to use.
That's what I
what
was
he
saying. The
has.
point you brought up is you're saying that Saban wasn't good for NIL.
Dabo Sweeney
Dabo
is the Tom
Sweeney is
Izzo
the worst
of college
for
football.
NIL.
Yeah.
He has no idea what NIL means.
I think if you put Clemson
And
any
he
other
refuses
conference,
to
they
listen to
suck.
it.
yeah.
I think if you put Clemson any other conference, they're
I just think
500
This
team
year's?
at the end
Are
of
you
the year.
talking this year's Clemson or any team?
This year's Clemson? We're not talking all time.
Okay, I was gonna say.
We're not talking all
gonna
time.
say Clemson's had some good teams.
No, like
I
post
just-
NIL Clemson.
Yes.
they've not been good.
You
No.
put it. You put
They're not-
Clemson
yeah.
in the Big Ten, SEC, and
They're
they're
smoked.
They're
They're
happy to go
smoked.
500.
Yes.
They're definitely not good. There's some stuff boiling down there in Tuscaloosa, and they're gonna have to figure their stuff out if they even want a shot at
I
the
agree with
SEC
you.
championship.
It'll be interesting.
Let's actually preview some college football now. We have our mom game of the week. We got a little graphic, a new graphic for you guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Up on the screen.
It'll be up.
hopefully
It'll be up
soon.
here shortly. But let's start
Let's
talking
talk about
it.
our mom game of the week. Number 5, Georgia at number 1, Texas. Wow.
That is gonna be a good game.
We thought Bama, Georgia was good. I think this game's going to be a little better.
Really?
I think
Really?
offensively, I feel like it's gonna be a shootout, and I think it's gonna be a great one.
Do you not love that shootout?
I love that
I'm
it
betting
could
the
be a
under.
shootout. I don't know what the points total is, so I'm not going to say that.
Well, I can tell you I have it right here.
Okay,
We
thank
have
you.
Our
Probably
point
47.
total for this game, this huge game, is 56.5. The
Oh, yeah,
spread
under.
being Texas -5, according to
Okay.
ESPN.
-5, huh?
I'm taking Texas to cover. They are a great
You
team.
think Texas is covering 5?
I think Alabama
they'll
showed
cover 5.
everybody how to beat Georgia, and it's at Texas. It's at Texas.
Okay.
I think 5 points, not crazy. That's one touchdown. That's one touchdown.
You know what, Tyler? I'm gonna agree with you because you saw that Bama Georgia game. Bama had, like, they were up like what, 25, whatever.
Yeah.
All Texas has to do is if they get out to a lead like that, don't blow the lead, and they blow out the 5th ranked team in the nation.
And I think Texas is a better disciplined team. Maybe
I don't.
They're going to play 4
disagree.
quarters.
I don't disagree.
They're not going to take any breaks.
You know what? I love Texas. I'm about as big of a Texas fan this year as they get. They've made me a lot of money betting on college sports, which I quit this weekend. I'm no longer a sports gambler.
That'll
But-
last about a day.
Congratulations.
Don't clap for that.
But I think 5 points is a lot of points for a Georgia team that's good.
Yeah.
I don't like Carson Beck.
Exactly.
I don't like Carson
That's all you had
Beck,
to say is Carson
but
Beck.
I
No.
do think that this Georgia team is going to be.
It's a lot, but
It's
I'm
going
still
to be
picking
better
them
than
to
5.
cover.
I think Kirby will get them ready
don't
to go
know.
on the road. I think that they'll come out and they'll be fired up, but I just don't think Carson Beck is going to be able to win you these big games, especially compared to a Quinn Ewers or an Arch Manning even.
That's fair.
If they had to go with Arch Manning.
Put them both in. I just want to see that one time this year.
We have the Trevor versus Brewer Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska at number 16, Indiana. I want to get my thoughts out there first, and then I'll let you guys talk about it.
Oh, that's
Kurt
perfect. 'cause I'm
Cignetti's
gonna-
not losing this ball game.
What?
Kurt Cignetti is not going to lose this ball game.
Oh, shut.
Indiana's going to win, and they're going to cover the spread. So,
I have a question for you, Tyler, before you two jump into it. Is this the second away game for the Huskers?
Yes. The first one was at Purdue.
I think this is Dylan Raiola's first real test.
I mean, that's not crazy.
First real test
Saying
away
Illinois.
from home.
Okay.
Away, obviously
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
home.
I got you.
I think this is first real test away from home. Indiana, they're 16. Their fans are going to show up.
They're minus 250 right now, by the way.
Okay.
Just throw that.
Does that mean I'm gonna get paid more on our bet? Does that
No,
mean I'm
it's
gonna make
not.
60 back?
You want to pay me more?
No.
We
So-
can make
I
it
don't
more.
have to
Let's
pay
make
you
it
more.
more.
like the graphic
the money where
just
your mouth
showed,
is.
we have
I already-
$20 on this game.
And
for
pride.
Trevor and Brewer and Pride. A lot of
I
pride.
think this will be a great game. Either way, I genuinely do think Indiana is going to win. I don't see a lot. I
I don't see a world they lose this game.
I see a world where they
can you
lose.
say that?
There
Okay.
are playoff contentions, or there are playoff, like, they're
You're saying
hoping
that
the
like
playoffs are on the
Nebraska
line.
couldn't be though. They have one loss to a ranked Illinois team.
Dude, you're wearing a bracelet over your sweatshirt right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a single word from you
This
right
game
now.
has playoff implications for both teams.
Yes.
What I will say is there's no way in hell Nebraska gets this win.
It's at
This
Indiana.
is the best Indiana team that they've had
they've had in my lifetime.
in
And hey,
decades.
I'll give it to Indiana. They sold out the stadium. Will half of them be Nebraska fans? Absolutely, because Nebraska
a
travels well.
terrible
It's a
team.
glorified
Nebraska-
home game for us
terrible
in a
team.
worse stadium.
That's a
against a fraudulent team. They should not be ranked 16th.
Trevor,
how are
because
they
have-
fraudulent?
They have not
You can't-
played anybody.
you can't let a
Their
blind man
best
see
team,
light, man.
their best win is against Maryland, who
What's your
just
best
lost
win?
to
Colorado?
Northwestern.
Yeah, who's your guys' best?
You say Colorado's not a good win?
It's not something where you should be bragging about
Colorado
it
at
like it's
home is not a win.
Especially, I'm
go.
sorry.
Colorado
I
just
hate
took
to say it.
Especially
Colorado
after
was
getting
Nebraska's
your guys'
Super Bowl.
ass kicked last
You're
year.
It's a
an
rivalry
idiot.
game.
You're an
It
It's
was
a
idiot.
your Super
rivalry
Bowl.
game.
You're
It
an
was your
idiot.
Super Bowl.
Now, what I will say is Matt Rule will have his guys frothing at the mouth. He'll have his guys ready to play.
I just want to let everybody watching this show know that when
Nebraska's
Nebraska
not winning.
wins next week, I will march in here, be playing the Cornhusker, Hail Varsity, and I'm going to let you three hear
What
it.
happens when they lose?
And we're going to get
You'll do the
security
same
to
thing.
take you out.
No, we don't care that much about Nebraska. To
I
do something
care,
like
and I'm
that.
tired of you guys disrespecting this team. They are one.
They're not
they
good.
Are, they are a good.
Nebraska's
team.
not good.
They have one loss, and I guarantee you, if they played Illinois again, they are
schedule
not
was
losing that
cake.
game.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Their
dude.
schedule
I
was
can't
cake.
I have
stand
never
you.
been more confident
Let's
about
not sit
Nebraska
here-
playing a ranked
No,
team since 2016 when we beat Oregon.
No, we can't sit here and say Indiana's schedule was bad. They haven't played anybody. Who the hell has Nebraska played?
They played. They played
The
ranked
talk-
Illinois.
The narrative in the talk before the season was we could be going into Ohio State 7-0.
Yeah.
We could be 7-0 going into Ohio State. Let's not sit here and act like the schedule and that Nebraska team was not.
But the
projected
only
to be
thing,
very
the only
good.
thing is, it would be the exact same thing for Indiana. They just had no expectations going into it.
They have Kurt Signetti.
They had no expectations going into it.
Indiana thinks they're the best football team of all time.
Yes.
Not just
Okay,
of this
I don't.
year.
It doesn't matter what Indiana thinks.
Yes, it absolutely does. That carries a
At their
mentality
house-
going into
at
their own
house,
home.
Tyler, they're not. Nebraska's not winning this game.
Okay, whatever you
telling-
want to say.
you're telling
You want to
me-
get in on the
no,
bet?
No. You're telling me that if like a team's mindset going into a game doesn't matter.
Every
this
team
is
goes
the best
into
team.
games thinking they're going to win. If you don't,
That's
then you're
not
gonna
what I'm
lose.
saying. This
No,
is the
they
best
don't.
team
No,
that
they
Indiana
don't.
has had.
Trust
this
me, I
is
played high
no,
school
hold on.
sports.
This is the
There's
first
some games
time
where you're
that
like,
no,
yeah.
shut up. This is the first time that Indiana has
You gotta break
genuinely
the popcorn.
had playoff hopes in my lifetime.
They're not
in
making the
decades.
playoffs, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. This is the first time they've had genuine playoff hopes. Hopes. And you think that
Indiana's
doesn't
making
give
the
them an
playoffs.
edge at home?
You guys are
at
saying
Memorial
this.
Stadium?
You guys are saying this like Nebraska hasn't been one of the worst teams in college football over the past 2 decades.
But you're telling me Indiana's been better than them?
them?
Indiana's been
100%.
just as bad.
That's
Worse.
a terrible
But I'm just
take.
saying, he's
That's
talking.
a terrible
He's
take.
talking to me. You are talking like Nebraska. You're making Nebraska sound like Ohio State. You're making it sound like we should
That's
have
all-
playoff
no, I am
expectations
not.
every
They sh-
year.
they should be.
We
What
are
I'm
not
saying
that
is that
level.
Indiana is not on that same level. Indiana has been a worse team for a longer period of time.
I don't see
That's
how
why
that plays
this-
into this.
You
I
go
really
into
don't.
the game with a mindset of, yeah, this probably is their biggest
Whoever
matchup
loses
on their
this game
schedule.
is getting clowned next week.
I
I think
know,
we
yeah,
can.
that's-
I think we
that's
can
what we're
all
gonna-
say that. I can
God.
care
I think-
less who wins this
I
game.
think Indiana
I'll put 30 on it. I'll put 40 on it. I'll go
Put the
as high
house
as
on it.
50.
We agreed on 20. We're gonna
That's
do
what
20.
I'm saying. If you are going to
You're
be
just
that
gonna
confident,
hear. You're gonna hear everything
if you're
I
going to
have
be that
to say.
confident, then you should be able to back it up. But you're not that
This is going to
confident.
be a very interesting game. That's all I'm going to say. We have 2 teams contending for a spot in the
cannot.
playoffs.
I don't think either of these 2 teams make playoffs unless you're trying to transition.
Indiana
this.
could be 11-1.
Yeah.
They're not
look at
gonna
their,
be.
Look at their schedule. They could be.
They
11-1.
play only
They
big
play
games.
Ohio State.
Okay,
Um,
they're gonna be 11-2 or
Number-
10-2 then.
okay, whatever. That's still playoff bound.
Nah.
Number 24, Michigan at number 22, Illinois. Michigan is favored by, it was -3 earlier. I'm going to get an updated little check there. It's -3.5. Illinois is going to win this football game.
I agree.
Because Michigan's bad at football.
But we're talking about how Nebraska hasn't.
Oh
played
my God, it's
anybody.
Michigan. Please shut your
Wow.
mouth. Yeah, Illinois is winning this. Michigan's overrated. I told you they would be unranked by the end of the season.
All right,
This
we're
is the
gonna-
game where they get unranked.
Let's just go right through this game because I think we all have kind of the similar opinions here. I just think Illinois, Luke Altmaier, I just love that Illinois offense. I think that Illinois defense is good enough to stop that horrific Michigan offense. So let's just kind of go right past this. I know we have some things kind of being said in the script right now.
Yeah, it's just the non-ball knowers talking, but that's all right.
You are
That's
last
crazy.
in the
one
quick
game,
pick 'em.
one game that I want to talk about real quick before we move on. Does KU finally get
No.
a win against Houston this week?
Yes.
You think?
Yes.
Really? Genuinely?
Did you see
Our
what
TD Case is over there shaking his head no. I do think KU actually gets in the win column this
I
week.
don't. I think this is another loss. I think we'll probably have the lead going into the fourth quarter and then find a way to
Man,
blow it
that's
like we
very
usually
plausible.
do.
I'm just trying to be optimistic.
Did you
here.
guys see what KU football posted today?
No.
Was some like the edit, like the Quentin Skinner interview?
It was
thing
a
or whatever?
Quentin Skinner
Yeah.
handshake compilation.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Why
How
are
much
we
else to
why
post about?
practice? Why are we doing handshakes?
He's practicing the handshakes.
We
more than he's
beat
practicing the catches.
Lindenwood. We beat a glorified high school team.
Hell, our TD had more rushing yards than him like 3 games ago. So, I mean,
I don't know. I think realistically, I think KU might get the win. But at this point,
I'm real good at getting optimistic when I have no reason to get optimistic, and I'm optimistic about KU this week. I think that they can. I think they can obviously win this game. I don't like that. It feels like Lance is trying to soften the blow already, trying to prepare us for a loss in his press conferences.
yeah,
what
But,
else is he supposed to do? Say we're gonna win? I mean, none
Yeah,
of us
I mean,
believe that.
ideally-
Yes, I would love a coach who's
Ideally,
optimistic
yeah.
about us getting results every week.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but like also,
But-
it's everybody's just gonna clown him.
I
There's
think.
not much you can do.
I think regardless, our hopes for the season are kind of over for football.
Yeah, 100%.
We really only have one, maybe two things to look forward to, and that's K-State, Iowa State.
We would literally
You have to win out.
We have to win out, and then
you have
we
to
get a bowl
beat
game.
K-State. You have to. Obviously, you have to win against Houston, but you have to beat K-State, and that's not going to
No,
happen.
I'm not. Yeah,
And that's
I'm
just
not
for a
saying we're
bowl
going.
game.
No,
bowling
I know
this
you
year.
weren't. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
So
that's
I want
the
to
only
get
remainder.
I think-
I kind of want to
yeah.
see where we all are at on this. Let's go around and say win, lose, win, loss. I'm gonna start. I think we get a win.
I'm gonna go loss.
I'm going win.
I think it's a toss-up, but I'm probably going to go loss.
Alrighty. I
Split
mean, that's about
table.
as much Kansas football as I can talk for now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you on that.
So let's start talking about our locks of the week. I'm going to go first. I have Notre Dame minus 11. Homer pick for me. I'm an Irish fan. But let me explain myself here. I don't think Georgia Tech's wins against Florida State look nearly as good now.
Better win than anything Indiana has.
I mean, oh my God.
Okay, hey, you two, let's mute their mics real
What are you
quick.
saying? You too?
Because you both
I'm
have
done.
picks that are going against each other.
No, we'll
next.
be short and sweet
I'm
here.
done.
We've said everything. We've
This
said
is
everything.
nuts. I just think Notre Dame's going to be able to control the line of scrimmage and just pound the ball against this defense that's, I don't think, nearly as good as they should have shown the first few weeks. I don't think they played anybody very good. I think Notre Dame's going to really just dominate.
put-
right now.
And I immediately put it.
Okay, before those two start jumping into whatever, I'm going to go. I think my lock of the week is Texas money line. They're playing Georgia. I've got faith in them. Big Texas fan this year. Not big, I mean.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not really a surprise what me and Trevor are going to go with here, obviously. We got the Trevor versus Brewer Bowl. So I'm taking Nebraska. I could have used them as my dog of the week, but I actually have a better dog of the week that I liked. So yeah, that's why I went Nebraska.
Yeah, that's the one thing we've agreed on
No,
this
yeah.
podcast. I
I
agree
saw
with you on
that.
your dog of the week.
Let's-
I'm obviously going Indiana. I mean, we both have $20 on it, so technically it's both locks for us. So.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys gotta pray.
This is literally we're
This
basically
is-
putting
this
the
is
mortgage
Jags,
on it.
This is
With $20.
Jags Bears, but a
would've put
lot
them-
more competitive.
It's going to be a better game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have our
Hopefully it's
dogs
a better
of the
game.
week. My dog of the week is number 22 Illinois plus 3.5 at home against Michigan. Obviously, we explained it in the earlier segment, but I just think Illinois is going to outright win this game because I don't see how Michigan's going to move the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
How about you?
I'm going to go Tennessee money line. I think this is a must-win game against Bama. I don't know who it was, two analysts today talking that
I'm not
whoever
the only one who doesn't
loses.
cite their sources now. Let's go.
I saw it on
No, you're
the
good,
TV
you're good.
for half a second,
You're
but
good.
it was whoever loses this game is probably out of chances
Yeah.
for a SEC championship, and I think Tennessee is going to surprise people. I like Tennessee. I'm pretty sure it's a home game for Tennessee.
It is,
It's
yeah.
a home game for Tennessee. Good old Rocky Top is a tough place to play, especially
Definitely hard place.
when a big opponent comes in.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think Tennessee's going to come in all riled up. I think they're going to get it done.
Yeah, and I don't think it went very well last time Alabama had to go to Old Rocky Top. I think those
Yeah.
goalposts ended up in the river.
So how about
They
you
did.
guys
So
give each other a hug and
Okay.
talk about why you guys
Come here.
agree?
Yeah, come on.
Bring it
Talk
in.
about why you guys
So,
agree about your dogs. of the week.
we both chose Louisville plus 4.5 at home against Miami. I like this because Miami's kind of been walking a very fine line recently. They've been playing a lot of close games, haven't finished opponents that they may otherwise have blown out. So I think Louisville, good battle-tested team, can play a good home game and get it done against Cam Ward.
Hey, that's a really good pick. The only reason why I didn't pick it is because two of you guys already had it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Now, what a weekend of NFL football. Let's start it off. Sunday morning, bright and early at 8:30.
Let's,
Caleb Williams.
I think there's some cash that
I'd
needs to
never
get handed
been more
over.
happy. I had never been more happy. Thank you. I have never been more happy to wake up at 8 in the morning ever in my life. I loved every moment of that game. No hate to the Jaguars at all.
Yeah, you can hate them.
They
Because
suck.
I'll do enough of that. Don't worry.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that amazing that Caleb Williams played the way he did against the Jags. I think it was kind of expected, but
You
it
think
gave
it
me
was
some footing.
expected for a quarterback to throw 4 touchdowns?
I think Caleb
Not
Williams
4
is really coming
touchdowns,
into his
but
own
I
here.
think that his
He's
QB
feeling so much more comfortable.
And that's what I'm saying. I think our O-line has improved, not drastically, but they look a lot better than they have in the last couple,
Can I
in the
talk
first couple
about
of games.
that real quick?
Yeah, of course.
DeAndre Swift's a good running back.
Great running back.
Great running back.
And I mean, I don't know why everyone that I know was hating
No, he's
on
good.
DeAndre Swift
He's
being
really
a bad
good.
running back. That offensive line did not help him the
Nope.
first 3 weeks.
Nope.
they did not help them. They're one of the worst offensive line units in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not the worst offensive line unit total in the NFL, but they sure were through 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And now everyone's kind of moving the ball now. We're moving the ball. Caleb Williams looks really good. The wide receivers are looking a lot better.
The OC, in my
just
opinion,
time.
the OC, in my opinion,
Time to
figured
gel.
out that what we had last year didn't work for the
Sure.
team that we have this year.
I think the whole Bears coaching staff as a whole has just gotten better.
And I agree with you. I
That's-
think they
that's
figured
a
out.
big thing with Chicago.
I think they
Offensive
figured out
coaches
that
would have done that,
they're
but-
just kind of letting Caleb run the offense that he would have ran at USC. In a way, it's not a carbon copy, but it's definitely a more modern offense
just
that
more
he used to
refined
run it.
version of it.
Yes.
They're just gelling together.
And it's been
that's
great,
why
and it's been
looking
fun
good.
to watch. It's been
DeAndre
a lot of
Swift,
fun to watch.
this is back-to-back weeks where he's over 15 fantasy
Yes.
points, where he's gotten in the end zone.
He's been lethal.
He's been incredible.
He has been a key part of that offense, and
He's
I'm
had-
glad that the OC's
he's had
been able to realize that.
Two straight games with over 100 rushing yards.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. He's had three touchdowns in the past 3 games. In the receiving, he is a terrific running back, receiving back almost. It's just
been
the
so
way that he's
fun to
running
watch.
things is really good, and that team looks good.
And I mean, I don't know why you put $20 in it.
And
if
the
I'm being
Jags look
totally
really
honest.
bad, and
they
all
look
3 of us
terrible.
picked the Jags to win this game.
I don't know what any of you guys were thinking. I
don't know.
genuinely had no doubt in my mind that I was going to make that 20. I appreciate you throwing it up there, Grant, because that was kind of a lot
Hey, I
for
put
me.
my money where my mouth is.
You did,
like
and I
somebody
respect
else
you
on
for
this
that. I really
podcast.
do.
The game
I really
hasn't been
do.
played.
I respect you for that. I really do. And so
I'm
I
not
did-
prepaying when I think my team's gonna win.
What do you have to say?
Yeah. What are
I
you
woke up
thinking
at
right
9. I'll be honest. My alarm didn't go off. I did
fair.
miss the start of the game. The
Respect
Jags
it.
were up 3-0, and I
Was
should have
your
gone
girlfriend
right
with
back
you?
to.
You
Yes.
should have.
My girlfriend was with
home
me.
just for you to probably break your TV watching that terrible
Yeah, right.
Jags game.
I didn't watch it. Like I said, I woke up at 9, saw we were up 3-0. Should have went back to bed because it didn't get any better than that. Nothing I'm gonna say here is defending this team. The Bears obviously won that game. The Jags lost.
Thank you.
And I just think that Doug Peterson is riding the Jaguars into the ground on his way out.
He's gone.
He's done. Yeah, he's done.
And I was talking about this
Surprised
with
he didn't
someone
get
today.
fired on his way back home.
I was
from
talking about
London,
this- He's not coming back.
What's Salah?
Salah.
Because
Salah.
what sucks too is I'm actually worried about this Patriots game. And
Oh,
I'm worried.
You might lose.
I'm not. Roll Duval.
Oh,
Number 2.
I needed the Bears out of you, by the way.
I will do it when I'm done.
Okay.
I'll hold my word to it. But
Go Bears.
I just think
His
that
chest into it.
you'll get a good one.
Okay,
But
all right.
the Jaguars, I was telling our good friend Gabe about it today. They have the talent on the roster, and it's not obviously the players aren't playing perfectly. There's drops, there's bad passes, there's bad
drops.
reads. But it's the coaching staff is, I think, the biggest and most glaring problem on this team.
On paper, you guys shouldn't be horrific. You shouldn't be.
You have a
insanely
serviceable
good,
quarterback,
but
a
you
decent
shouldn't be
running
horrific.
back.
It is coaching. That's what it comes down to.
And it sucks because, like I said, it's hard to watch a team that should be competing get killed. But that's all I'm going to put. I'm worried about this next game. I owe Trevor the Bears.
I'm with him. Put 100 on it.
Give him a
Put
Bears.
on
My dad's going to love this one. He's a Bears fan.
Yeah.
So,
Hit me with it.
the Bears.
Go Bears.
That is crazy.
Only thing
Now-
that needs to be said about this next game.
I was gonna say.
Only thing,
CD Lamb been playing
the Cowboys fans are turning on the
Yeah.
team.
It's
It's
bad.
bad.
Case is shell-shocked right now.
I mean, I wish we had a GoPro just to show you guys his Case reaction in there. He is not liking what's
That
going
team-
on in
Hey,
Dallas.
so I was with him when we were watching that game. There became a point in that game where he started rooting for the Lions. he gave
I
up.
think that was in the first quarter.
So-
to be
It was the
honest.
second quarter,
You know what?
actually.
I don't want to brag, but I did correctly predict this game. As you guys will see by the pick counter, I'm goated. I'm goated at picking.
Case, I've been there before. It sucks.
It doesn't get better.
He says you haven't. Like
I
you
haven't. The
Jags
Jaguars
fan.
lost to the Bills
Case,
on
come in
national
here.
television.
Case, come in here. The debut of Case Spears.
Case is coming
Here.
on the stream.
Take the mic.
We're really gonna have a debate mid
The
going live?
Jaguars Bears, or not the Jaguars Bills game on national media. It was a Monday
Embarrassment.
night game. Everyone that was watching football was watching that game and the other one. and the Jaguars got embarrassed.
Okay, but last time I checked, your team has not lost in the playoffs after having high expectations for the past 15 years that I've been in
We've been in
line.
the playoffs 1 year.
It doesn't matter. We get our hopes up every year just to lose.
You know what this reminds me of?
Bad.
It reminds me of a clip on TikTok of some Angels fan debating with a White Sox fan about who has it worse.
We're having an ass off right
Yes.
now.
It's not good. I do feel bad for you, Case. Hopefully,
It only gets worse from here, y'all.
yeah, it really does.
I'm not.
Thank
I'm
you,
not,
Case Spears.
I'm sorry, Case. I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah.
They got embarrassed by the Detroit Lions, who I think are Super Bowl contenders.
Not good.
Speaking of embarrassing, Serini, or however you say
Sirianni.
Sirianni, trash talking his own fans.
I would
The head
say
coach of the
same.
Eagles, trash talking Eagles fans.
Dude, I would too. They're ruthless.
They are ruthless, but as
They
the
barely
head
beat the
coach-
Browns.
The Browns are bad.
The Browns
and the Jaguars
suck.
lost to
Browns are
them.
not good.
I don't know what you guys really think about this game, but they're in a dogfight with Cleveland. I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl preseason.
Yeah.
What?
No,
not remember
I
that?
thought you picked the
No, you did. You picked the Eagles, didn't you?
Eagles.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Dang.
oh,
Picked the Eagles.
somebody
So
smelled like.
now I'm sitting over here while you guys are talking about them ass off, and my team's squeaking by the Browns.
Yeah.
I mean, they still probably did better than the Cowboys would have, but like, it doesn't make me.
The Cowboys. That's actually the
doesn't
one
make
good
me-
win the Cowboys
That
have
doesn't
this
make
year.
me feel very confident with my preseason predictions. Is Jameis Winston going to start over Deshaun Watson? I know that the Browns head coach came out and said Watson gives us the best chance to win. They haven't done a whole bunch of winning yet this year. Do you guys think that's true? Do you guys think that's coach talk? What's going on here?
I don't know how you can watch Deshaun Watson play and how he even acts. I know last week there was a clip of him walking off the field when they were going to go for it on 4th down. Because of that, they had to call a timeout and put the punt team out there.
He obviously,
I just-
I don't know.
I mean, that
He's
team
got
doesn't
some bigger
really
things
know.
on his mind.
Have you guys seen the burner
His next
account
massage.
that people think
Yup.
is Deshaun Watson's?
They called Deshaun 4.
Yep.
Whoever gets 4 is gonna win the lottery.
They were very happy about Amari Cooper leaving.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually read some of the things from this account because I sent
If
it
you
to
could,
a,
that would be great. But no, Stefanski, I don't know if it's Stefanski wanting Watson as much as maybe the GM is telling Stefanski that he wants Watson.
lose-lose. It's
I don't
lose.
But
I don't know who it is,
Yeah.
but here's all I have. Breaking news: the Browns are trading wide receiver Amari Cooper to the Bill, and Vernon Pritchard responds.
Reminds me of a Jackson Dragic.
That's what players get when they drop dimes. Good riddance. Now 4 just needs the coach traded, and we'll be back next year on God. We have this followed up with a meme by How I Met Your Mother. And it's
love
just
that
a picture of Deshaun Watson's profile. I don't know if you can see this. We'll try to put it up in the post edit. But Deshaun Watson's profile with a little hat on and a little fake mustache. So it's pretty funny. It's been
Hell yeah.
It's been something, that's for sure.
That Browns team, man, they should never have moved on from Baker Mayfield.
He was never the problem. I've
And-
said it since day one.
Hey,
Speaking
Alrighty.
of Baker Mayfield, this ties us in to our next segment. We have him in, and we can start off with you, Jack Kenna. We took the time this week to cook up a quarterback tier list.
We did.
And so we can go through those now.
Who's going first?
I think we'll start off with Jack Kenna here.
Just run through it. 'Cause
Yep.
This is going to take forever.
Maybe
if we give thoughts
maybe give
or
some
reactions.
notable picks.
Yeah,
here.
I'm just gonna make this pretty quick. I think Case will probably get that on the screen here in a little bit. But my S tier was Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, and Joe Burrow. Really come at no surprise. I have Kirk Cousins, Mayfield, Goff, and then the rookie, Jaden Daniels, and Sam Darnold in A tier. I was gonna put Sam Darnold in S tier. He just had a bad London game.
I threw him
The
in
week
S
off.
tier. I love
And
him.
so I just didn't really know kind of where to put him. Now, Mahomes is in B tier because I don't think Mahomes has individually played very well. However, his team is 5-0, and I just feel like he's responsible for a few of those wins.
Little quick question for you. Why do you got Stroud in the S tier? Just throw that out there. I don't like how he's been
heating
playing
up.
at all.
He's heating up.
I think
Yeah, but
CJ
he's not
Stroud's a
S.
good quarterback. I think he's going to heat up towards the end of the year. I feel
Okay.
like I know Grant sat over here and said sophomore slump. I don't think
I'm
that's
with
the
him on
case.
that. I don't
I don't think
love
that's
There's
the
him.
still a
case.
lot of season left to play.
I don't
Another
think,
day, another dollar.
I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to bounce back. I have Geno Smith, who's actually leading the NFL in passing yards in B tier. I feel like
don't
he's a
hate
very
that.
serviceable
I don't
quarterback.
either.
I don't hate that.
I
But
don't,
he's not a difference maker. You know, he's not a.
But he
Yeah.
was better than everyone I had in C tier. Let's talk about the guys I have in C tier. Dak Prescott, he's been terrible. Bo Nix, even though I'm a big Bo Nix guy, he just hasn't done a whole bunch.
It was delayed.
He hasn't done a whole bunch
5 seconds
under
delay.
center. Joe Flacco's actually been incredible in his few games, but I just can't put him above any of the other guys yet because they haven't really played anybody good. Aaron Rodgers has been bad. Richardson, it's terrible.
Thank you.
Horrible.
Yep.
Horrible.
Dude, do you want to see his interception
Horrible.
touchdown ratio?
He's terrible.
No, I've seen it.
It's god awful.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He
I
I
was
has-
still got him an A though.
Three
I love
tou-
him, man.
Three
You
touchdowns,
have
6
Anthony
interceptions.
I love him.
Wow. Okay,
Wait,
so let's
read that again. Read that
3
again.
touchdowns,
Are we
6
going by
interceptions.
this year?
Yes, this year.
Okay, whatever. No, I mean I'm talking about him.
Oh.
Having Anthony Richardson.
I was going.
Yes,
by
he's going
this
off
year.
this year. 'Cause
No, it's fair.
let's skip to Trevor's real quick. If
I
we can
love
pull
my
Trevor's
list.
up.
I love my list.
What the hell are you thinking?
Caleb Williams at 1.
Is not
Caleb
ST.
Williams at 1.
Okay, wait, time out. Were we supposed to put him in like the thing closest to S?
No,
No,
I just threw him in.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
how I had
Don't
him.
worry about that.
Yeah.
I had Williams at 1. Or at the S tier. I think he's great. Mahomes, he always comes back and performs. That's why I had him there. He could have
I'm
the.
actually surprised you have him in S tier.
No, I was too. He could have him He could have the worst 5 games. He's still gonna battle back and get him.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Why
got
is,
a question?
Yeah, why is Josh Allen in A tier, not S tier? What's he not doing for you?
I don't know. Putting him at S tier just felt wrong to me for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's a personal bias. I just don't like him very much.
Okay.
So
Why is Herbert so low?
Because Herbert sucks.
But he doesn't have anybody.
And he's
You don't have to raise your hand.
I don't
Pretty
like.
solid.
I don't like him
want
very
Trevor to
much.
call
But
me.
also one thing that if I would have had to change it, he doesn't have a lot of weapons, and I think that's something that I needed to take into
We
account.
should have made don't have weapons.
category.
Well, that's why I wanted it
So
to
many
be
people.
broad when I pitched this idea because I wanted stuff like
Yeah,
this.
no,
So-
that's fair. Yeah, go ahead.
Trevor, I have a question for you.
If you talk about Trevor Lawrence,
Yes,
don't
and
talk
that's
to me.
exactly what I'm talking about.
No, 'cause
How do you
Trevor's
have
right.
Anthony Richardson over
Okay,
2
well.
tiers over Trevor Lawrence? I think that's wild.
Okay, so I agree with you on that, but also I don't want to. I do not care about Trevor Lawrence right now. He is the leader of a 1-5 team now.
Yeah.
You have. I mean.
Yeah, no,
There's no reason to throw him higher than that. Anthony Richardson at A, yeah, probably a little high. I would rather put him at B,
little high.
but
He is still
Okay,
crazy.
are we going?
He's
okay,
not
no,
that
wait. time
bad.
out.
He's injured and he has 3 touchdowns to 6 interceptions.
Okay,
He
I don't
sucks.
care. He's not bad.
Are we He's
really
Do records go into this? Do records go
Yes.
into this?
Well, that's what I was taking into
I took
play.
everything into
yeah,
account.
I took
with
everything
my
into play.
rankings.
I wasn't doing just off quarterback.
Then I think Richardson at what is it?
B.
A tier is
I should have put him at
He-
B.
yes.
I should have put him at B.
should've
I'll
put him
admit
at
that.
B.
He can't
He's
go
not
back
B.
and change it now.
I
It's
can't
already
go
up
back
there.
and change it. I should have put him at B. I agree with you.
Okay.
But
Okay,
Whatever.
let's
How about
move
you guys
on.
flash yours?
I'll take mine real quick, and then we can let Grant's abomination of one
Whoa.
take
whoa.
over. So
Can you at least agree Grant's is worse than mine?
let me look at Grant's real quick.
I hate Grant's.
Yes, okay.
I don't
So
think mine's that bad.
S tier for me, I have a rookie, Jaden Daniels. I just think as a rookie, he's performed so good. So, that team is winning games because of
Yeah,
him.
I
You put
love
in
him.
Sam Howell from last year, and they're not as successful. Mahomes, I see, and I agree with your point on his stats are bad this year.
Yep.
But I also think if you put anybody else in on that Chiefs team, backup wise,
He'll
I'm not
always
going to
come
say
back and
starters.
perform.
100%.
I don't think the Chiefs are undefeated right now. That's my thinking with Kirk Cousins too. Kirk Cousins obviously has way better stats. He's an S-tier quarterback. Joe Burrow has been playing great. Josh Allen, no interceptions this season so far. And Lamar Jackson's Lamar Jackson. Purdy's A-tier for me. I think that he's A-tier for everyone else. I don't know.
I put him in B,
Purdy?
I think.
Yeah, you're terrible. I would have had Darnold in S tier, but the London game for me kind of bumped
Yep.
him down.
Same.
Why the hell you got Trevor Lawrence in? Oh,
I
wait,
got
no,
Trevor
never
Lawrence
mind.
over in B
I was
tier
looking at
because
Grant's.
he has good stats.
I have Trevor Lawrence in B tier.
I don't like
Yeah.
that at all.
I put him in A purely because
let's
he's
look
my.
at Trevor
he's
I
Lawrence.
my
guess
team's
it's a lot of the
quarterback.
weapons that he has are not performing, but
So,
still.
Trevor
dropping a
Lawrence.
lot
Trevor
of
Lawrence is
passes.
12th in
Yeah.
the league in passing with 8 touchdowns with 3 interceptions, but his team sucks. So I docked him because of his record, but he
That's
has
fair.
good stats.
That's
B
fair.
tier
Wait, so you
quarterback.
docked him 1, right?
Why are we?
You just said you docked him.
Sure.
Why did you say that?
So that means that he should have been A. So
oh
then
my
that you.
God, dude.
By me putting Trevor Lawrence in A, Tyler, you just said
I can't stand
Let's show
either of you.
Grant.
You both
Let's-
are
unless
terrible.
Tyler's got something
I'm
else.
sorry, I shouldn't have spoken.
God.
Unless Tyler's gotten something else to say.
No, I
Flash.
think all my quarterbacks in D tier are just injured guys.
Yeah, injured guys are guys you just haven't really played, right?
Tua anywhere besides D is a sin to humanity.
He was good. Look at the Dolphins team without him. They suck.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, am I up?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Well, he'll put
you're
it
up.
up. Just
You're
talk.
up.
Okay.
Just talk.
I'm gonna go for my. I'm not gonna say that.
How is
We're
Baker
starting
S
A.
tier?
Baker's been a good
Baker's
quarterback.
been a
But
good
S
quarterback,
tier?
This is terrible.
bro.
Baker at
Okay,
S tier is not bad.
This
No.
is terrible.
Okay.
He's not. That's not
So-
even a crazy pick. Let's not.
Jaden
I'm
Daniels.
honestly surprised you have Mahomes
S.
here. I'll let you talk.
Jaden Daniels S, Lamar Jackson S, Mahomes S. The 2 question marks that you
Do you
guys have
know
are
what
Darnold
S
and
means?
yes, I know what S means. Darnold, and
Darnold
Mayfield.
would be an S
I
if
don't
he didn't
hate.
have a bad.
I don't hate Darnold in S tier.
Mayfield's
in
not
S
that bad.
is not bad either.
And I have Burrow and Allen.
Why
I
are
do
we-
not.
How are we possibly yelling at him? We didn't yell about you guys having Mahomes. Mayfield's had such a better year than Mahomes has had.
ball like us.
No,
That's just the
me.
truth.
I'm still mad at you about that Indiana-Nebraska game.
Baker Mayfield has had so much.
We are
of a-
unraveling.
Baker Mayfield's had a better season than Mahomes has had.
might
We
be a
don't, we're not
crash
sitting
out,
here
to be
crashing. You
honest.
guys are having Mayfield or Mahomes in S tier.
I think I had
Baker
Mayfield at
deserves
A
S
tier.
tier more than Mahomes does.
I have Mayfield at A tier because he has a worse record than Mahomes.
But he has better stats.
That's why
I
he's-
think. I don't know.
That's why he's A
Mayfield's
tier,
a-
not B tier.
Mayfield's a. But Mahomes.
Don't-
oh my
don't
God.
ask
I
me-
respect you for throwing Williams at A tier. I'm glad that
I'll
you
explain
saw
all
that.
my
I
A
thought
tiers
I think
real
he's
quick.
only getting better.
He's getting
I
better.
agree with you on
I
that.
put Lawrence A tier purely because he is my team's quarterback, and he hasn't played terrible. He's cleaning up a lot of his turnovers, which is good to see. But the
Yeah.
team sucks, so it's
I don't know
whatever.
why you guys all have CJ Stroud so high. I don't like CJ Stroud at
Okay.
all,
I
really.
CJ Stroud's a pretty solid.
I have Bo Nix in B. Drake May off of 1 game I think was B. He had 3 touchdowns, which was more touchdowns than more passing touchdowns than I think it was.
Baker?
No,
Talking about- who are you
it
talking
was
about here?
more touchdowns in 1 game than Caleb Williams and another first-round quarterback had in 2 weeks. In
I
1
had
game.
Williams did have a bad 2 weeks.
I had Drake May in my D tier because I just haven't seen much.
Yeah, it was
That's-
1 game. It was 1 game.
Yeah,
I'm just-
that's why
I'm
I
not
had him
saying
on
he's a
mine.
bad
I
quarterback.
agree.
I'm just going off of
I
that
have
1
him?
game I saw. Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray, the now Aaron Rodgers, is mid.
yeah,
I think Jordan Love has played mid this year. Stafford hasn't had I haven't seen him much. I'll be honest. I kind of just put him there because I haven't seen him much.
He's just had
Derek
his
Carr-
weapons have been hurt.
How'd you get Zach Wilson into C tier? Or did you think that was Russell Wilson?
No.
Okay.
I don't know why I put him in there. I think it was because, okay, yeah,
You
no.
probably just forgot.
I did not mean to put Zach Wilson in there. I kind of forgot that he wasn't the starter, and so I was just like, oh, Zach Wilson, he's not,
Yeah,
because
no.
these guys in D haven't played either ever with Penix or McCarthy.
Daniel
much.
Jones isn't that bad this year.
No, Daniel Jones isn't.
I don't
that
know how
bad.
you have him.
That's why
C.
I had
think
him
he
in
should
C
be a B
tier.
tier.
I think
By
he's
your
I
a
don't
logic.
think he's a
I
B
don't
tier
think,
quarterback.
I do not think that my list is as crazy as you guys are saying it is.
No, it's not. If they're gonna give you crap for having Mayfield up there, they have Mahomes. So
There might be
let's-
1 or
let's
2
slow our roll a
questionable
little bit.
things, but other than that, it's not terrible. I don't think.
Let's
Yeah.
slow our
All
roll
right.
a little bit.
All right.
That is all we have.
We have quick and
right
pick'ems
now.
Yeah, we got quick and pick'ems.
Quick and
I'll,
pick'ems. Do some
I'll
quick
pull
ones.
it up. I'll pull it up.
Let's
I'll
do
run
some
us
quick
You
through
want
it.
to lead us in quick and pick'ems? Let's show that graphic with my beautiful face atop the board.
I'm gonna put a
Again.
bag over my face for next week's if I don't have a good week.
It's getting rough for you, my brother.
It's going
Jack,
bad.
Trevor, we gotta
Right
lock
now,
in because Jack is starting to run
40
away with it.
Yeah, I know. We really
47. I'm at 47.
guys
You
are
two
probably
are at
just, like,
54,
copying my
and
picks.
Jack Kenna is at 57.
Oh, shut
correct
up.
picks.
I'm sure TDK will get to it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's all right, but
Watch
we'll
this in
we'll get
something right now.
we'll get on. We'll get on with it. I will say, I mean, we all knew this, but yeah, fade my picks for the NFL because I am wrong more often
Trust
than
me,
I'm
we
right
know.
now.
Yeah, we know.
Actually, I would love to see like our correct percentages, but that's a lot to add up.
I would love to see the percentages without all of us saying the same one. I know you said that last week.
Yeah, I think it'd
making
be
fun of Tyler.
I think it'd be cool to see
but
like how
I
many.
think it would be kind of funny to
Maybe
Well,
maybe
see
we'll do
that.
some nerd work at the end of the year and go through and do that maybe.
That would be a lot of nerd work.
Yeah, I think
Sounds like
it'd be
something
amazing.
TD Case will love to do for us.
TD
Anyways,
TDK.
All right, let's get
Thursday
started.
night football this
Throw up
week
the
might
graphic
be,
and stop
might
looking
be
at
the
us,
first
Case.
bad Thursday night football game this week because it's the Denver Broncos, who are just not a very fun team to watch right now, going against a very beat up New Orleans Saints. It's in New Orleans. Jack, can I start
It's
us
in
off?
New Orleans, but you look at who New Orleans has. They have a beat up Derek Carr who's coming back from an oblique injury. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if he's playing. They have Rashid
I don't think
Shaheed
he
who's
is.
not playing. They have Chris Olave who's not playing. Those are three big key parts of that Saints offense, and I think the Broncos defense is really good as it is. So, honestly, I'm going to think I say the Broncos win this game just because of how beat up the Saints are.
I'm going Broncos. I saw a graphic today where there's like one of these charts where it showed, I don't know, statistics between cornerbacks, and the Broncos had 3 cornerbacks all the way in the top right, which is where you want to be, and it was like a bunch of other corners below
Yeah.
them. So I think the Broncos.
I think this is a game where the Broncos defense is going to have the opportunity to feast a little bit on a beat-up New Orleans team. I don't like that it's at New Orleans because I think they're going to play pretty well at home, but I think the Broncos get the win here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Broncos here.
First one of the day, that's what we love to see.
All right, moving on. New England Patriots go to Jacksonville, Florida, take on.
No, they don't.
They
it's
go
in
to
London.
London.
Oh yeah, you're
it's
right.
another
Thank
London
you.
game for the
Thank you.
Jags.
I
Yeah.
hate the 8:30 games.
I do too.
I actually love them. I love waking up doing like chores in the morning. Like I did laundry while watching the Jaguars game last week. It was nice.
Jaguars
boring,
are going
huh?
to win this game. They are. Go Duval.
I don't know.
That's 3 now.
I
All
don't
time,
know.
Jack has 3. I'm going to go Jaguars because they're my team. I think the Patriots aren't good, but then again, so are the Jaguars. They're not good.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, right? Because I'm thinking that Drake May is going to show up and show out.
No, the
against
thing is, he
Jaguars.
is. Regardless, win or loss, he's going to look amazing this game.
It's just
because the Jaguars DBs and their defense is
Well, the
terrible.
only
I don't-
thing that I'm thinking is, can your wide receivers catch up?
I don't think that's the biggest issue you should be thinking
That's
about right
not at
now.
all.
Can the defense cover anyone?
Well, I know the defense won't, but it's just about whether or not you guys can perform. In my opinion.
So what do you guys think?
I'm taking the Patriots here. I don't love that Drake May is getting his second ever start in London after his first start last week, but I think
You know
the
what? I
Patriots
will
win this
say
game.
real quick before you go, Trevor. I was expecting the Jags-Bears game to be a home game for the Jags. Like, obviously, the
was
Bears were
too.
a home team.
showed up.
The Bears traveled well.
We did.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
happy about
hoping
that.
this is
I think
different.
they're excited because it's Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that probably is.
I don't really know if Patriots fans are going to travel for a 1-5 team, even though we know Jags fans will.
I'm going with the Jags.
Wow, I'm the only Patriots guy here.
That's
I
kind of
just-
the reason I picked the Jags.
Fair enough.
I just
That's
think
the reason I picked the Broncos because Kenneth took them. Not gonna lie.
that's crazy work. Just stealing off my picks.
That's a bad game.
It's not.
Moving on though, Seattle goes to Atlanta. Seahawks versus Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons are winning this game.
I'm going Falcons,
Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle got the upset here.
I wouldn't be
but-
either.
Can we? Do we even have to say this next one?
Nope, Bills.
Bills. Yeah, Bills.
Bills over the
playing?
Titans.
Yeah, let's go.
I will say real quick before we move on, does Will Levis make it through the season before he gets benched?
It's Malik Willis. Yes.
No,
No,
Malik
it's
Willis on the
not.
He's in
Packers
the Packers.
now.
Who is it?
The guy who got hit by the helmet in
Mason
Pittsburgh.
Rudolph?
Mason Rudolph.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he is. I think
No, he'll
he's
finish
staying
the
this season.
season.
That's a bad situation. Tennessee needs to lose more games. They need to get Shador.
Yeah.
No, he's going to Miami.
For the Bengals Browns, there's no way the Bengals lose this game, right?
No
We've
way.
said that so
I
many
know
times
we
this
have.
year.
And Joe Burrow's had a good year.
He's had a great year. He leads
So
the
it's
league
like-
in touchdowns, I think.
So it's
Yeah.
like the Bengals are winning this game.
Give me the Bengals.
Bengals are winning this game.
give me
They're
the
5.5
Bengals.
point
We're all
favorites
Bengals.
for a reason.
We're all
Give me the
Bengals.
And it's
Bengals.
not like it's a true road game for them either. They're staying in the state.
Here's an interesting game. Texans, Packers.
I hate when I'm going to have to choose here. because
Same.
I don't
Yeah.
think the Texans are winning, and I hate the Packers.
Neither
with
do
all
I.
of
I
my
love
life.
this quarterback
I think,
matchup.
I think the Packers
At
are going to win this
Packers.
game. It's in Lambeau.
It's at Lambeau, which is the only
It's-
reason I'm picking them.
Vegas
You know what?
doesn't
I
really
hate
know what they
watching
want
Houston.
either,
Give me
though.
the Packers.
Give me the Packers.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah, give me the Packers.
What are you taking?
I'm taking the Packers.
I'm taking Houston here. I think CJ
Great,
Stroud's only
great
gotten
call,
better.
guys. Great call.
I think
We were
CJ
really
Stroud's
thinking.
only gotten better, and
He has.
I don't know. I just like Houston. Diggs and Tank Dell played really well last week against Patriots too.
I just don't know how they're going to do with Nico Collins out.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fair.
it didn't affect them. You could not tell that they were missing their best receiver last week.
I know.
And it is the Patriots.
But now the Packers have a full week of prep, and that defense is pretty good.
it's not like that Patriots game was real daunting
I'm
for the
gonna
Texans.
go. I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Yeah.
Well, so all right, well, that's fine. Next game is Miami at Indianapolis.
watching it.
No one's watching
Not
this
watching
game.
it.
It's gonna be Indy though.
For what it's worth, Indianapolis is 3-point favorites in this.
It's gonna be Indy.
It's gonna be Indianapolis.
I'm going to take Indy
Give me the
2.
Colts.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Moving on, big matchup in the NFC North. It is the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings
Do we
in
have
Minnesota.
do we have a mom game of the week for the NFL?
We don't,
yet?
but it
Oh,
would
we
be
haven't.
this game.
So it's going to be this game.
Yeah.
This is the mom game of the week. This is going to be a great game.
At
Vikings.
Minnesota.
At
Yeah,
Minnesota.
in Minnesota.
So you guys can go first. I want to go last.
That's
I'm
fair.
going
So you
Vikings
guys don't
here.
copy
I know
my
you.
pick.
So I know you're going to pick. You're probably going to pick Lions now. That you want to go last, but that doesn't change my pick. It's still going to be the Vikings. I love the Vikings. I think they're going to be good here.
The Detroit Lions made a statement in Dallas last week. And I
It's
think
Dallas. It's Dallas.
I like Detroit this week.
do you
The
think?
biggest question mark is now their edge with Aiden Hutchinson being out.
I think that they could be in a position to get a Max Crosby,
No way.
to get a Miles Garrett.
You think?
In the
Miles
past-
Garrett. Are the Browns like selling everyone?
I think in the past, when injuries have happened and things have happened in Detroit, they've been very, very, very confident and very quick to
It's the
find
last guy that
replacements and
deserved that injury,
situations.
though.
Yeah.
I just really don't think that this Aiden Hutchinson injury is going to hurt them. I think it's going to motivate them.
I like that.
So I'm going to take the Lions here in this game, and I'm very confident.
It's kind
Really?
of my pick.
I'm very confident that the Lions will do something before the trade deadline comes around, and I think somebody
Interesting.
I
is
just
going to be
don't
in a
know.
Lions jersey that we don't expect.
I just don't know
I
how much
think-
cap they have. I don't know.
I-
But I don't know if it's going to be a Miles Garrett or a Max Crosby, but
Yeah.
those are two players on bad teams that I think could really make an
I do
instant.
not
I don't
want to
hate
see
it.
impact.
I like your thinking, and I just don't want to see Max Crosby go to Detroit because I hate that guy on the field. I always see the mic'd up clips of him after games
love
where he's
Max
talking
Crosby.
smack to quarterbacks
Well,
and
the
all
problem
that.
that you guys aren't
But I wouldn't be
thinking-
mad if he left the division.
What happens next year when Hutchinson's back and then they have two edges of?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
Aiden
play that
Hutchinson
game.
and Max Crosby.
I wouldn't play that game.
If
That's
I'm the
real.
quarterback, I'm so scared.
Yeah, I'm
My
tweaking.
blind side, I'm going to get nailed.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back real quick. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I like them.
Vikings.
They've been the best.
So you two
the
are
best
Vikings
team.
and me and Ken
Yeah.
are
Yes.
Lions? Okay. Let's move on to a game that I think I'm going to be the only one taking a certain team on, but
Don't pick the
Philadelphia
Giants. Don't pick
beating
the
or
Giants.
Philadelphia taking on the
Don't
Giants
pick the
at
Giants.
MetLife Stadium.
It's going to be Philadelphia.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Giants.
Okay. I don't even want an explanation.
So there's a reason
I
that
don't
he's
really-
10 behind us, by the way.
I don't even want an
He
explanation.
picks the worst
Let's
game.
just
I,
get to the
I'm
game.
chasing my losses. I'll admit. This is
And
one of those
it's the
games.
wrong game.
That's fine. Let him do it. Let him
I've-
chase
this
his
is the
losses.
third time this episode.
Raiders, Rams. Raiders, Rams.
Rams.
What? Rams? What are you guys?
I don't know. I don't watch either of these teams.
Why are you guys tweaking?
Aiden
The Raiders
O'Connell.
are that bad.
Yeah.
And the Rams are getting Cooper Cup back.
Yeah, that's a good
potentially.
point. I'm going Rams.
And they have the guy with
You
the
shouldn't have
most red
explained
zone,
it. You could have just increased the gap.
Well, I
right
wouldn't-
there.
the guys-
wouldn't have picked the Raiders either way.
And
I
they
was
have
just
Tyron Williams, who has the
50-50
most
on
just
it.
red
lost
zone
their best
touches
wide receiver.
in the NFL.
Yeah,
Like-
Rams. All right.
Rams.
Cute.
Move on.
Carolina
Let's keep the-
at Washington. This can be a quick one. I think we're all going to take the Commanders here.
I'm taking the Commanders.
Commanders.
Washington.
I could be scared of the Andy Dalton against the Commanders defense, but
Nope.
the Commanders defense looked a lot better than what they've been.
Yay!
The other opportunity for mom must-watch game of the week would have been Kansas City at San Francisco.
I personally think
Must-win
it's gonna be
game
blown
for the 49ers, I feel like.
I
here.
do. Chiefs are gonna
San
blow 'em out.
Francisco is going to beat the Chiefs.
I
I
hate.
just don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be healthy enough to compete with them. Already beat up.
I hate my take here, but I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
I like
it's
the
gonna be-
Chiefs here too.
I
Ken
think
is
it's
the
gonna be the
outlier.
Chiefs, yeah.
Outlier.
Already.
Chiefs.
I love being the outlier.
Actually, you know what? I'm switching my pick. Niners. Give me the
Why?
Niners because
You
if
can't
I'm gonna
do
be
that.
wrong about
No,
something,
No, you can't go off of his picks.
I'm not. Okay,
with your heart.
okay.
You said
Whoever's
Chiefs, you're
watching
going
this,
Chiefs.
I'll stick with the
edit it.
Chiefs.
You're going Chiefs.
sticking with the
Yeah,
Chiefs.
that
I'll
was
stick
bad.
with the Chiefs.
That was bad. I didn't
Wow.
like that. I
My
didn't like
reason
that
for
at
the
all.
switch up was not because he
No,
took.
shut up.
flag.
I didn't like that at all.
That's fine. It
That was
was
bad.
not because he took that. It's because I never bet on my favorite teams, and I don't want to do it on a
Okay,
big
we're not
game.
technically betting.
That was bad.
You're right, but I'm not right often.
For the next game,
what a
Jets and
bad-
Steelers. Jets and Steelers. I'm going Steelers here.
I'm going
I love
Steelers,
the Steelers. Yeah.
You think of what I'm thinking?
Jets.
Jets. It's purely because I think it is written. Whoever was writing the script and had Aaron Rodgers reunited with Devontae Adams, I think they're going
Yeah,
to go out. And
that's
I think
fair.
I
Do you
think
guys
those two.
Devontae Adams gets a touchdown week 1?
Probably,
His first
yeah.
week back.
I
For
think
sure.
100%.
I think they are going.
Caleb
to force
Williams said he
feed
wanted
him.
to get the ball to Keenan Allen. He got the ball to Keenan Allen. You think Aaron Rodgers can't get the ball to Devontae Adams?
That's
Well,
All I'm saying
the
is
problem
yes,
is
he finds
now.
ways.
The problem is now the Jets have 2 wide receiver ones. Like the
The
Steelers have a
Jets'
great
offense
defense.
scares me, but that defense doesn't scare me yet.
I agree.
Yeah, fair enough.
That Jets defense
And-
needs to show me they're actually wanting to play
Yeah.
some
Pittsburgh
football.
doesn't know who their starting quarterback is going to be
That's a
right
great point.
now,
Which is
so-
dumb.
As
It
for,
should be
Fields
uh,
hasn't
Fields,
done
right?
anything.
Fields hasn't
bad.
done
He
anything
has good
deserving
stats,
of a
but-
bench.
No.
It also was Russell Wilson's job preseason before he got hurt, so I don't hate that there's competition there. But
We got two Monday night games again, fellas.
is there any reason? for
Gosh
2
darn
Monday
it,
night
this
games
sucks.
week?
I don't know.
No,
They've done
I
it
hate it.
3 out of the last 4 weeks they've had 2 Monday night games, and I don't
I
think the
can't.
fans really enjoy it that
I can't
much.
stand it. So first game we got Ravens Bucks. I think this will be a great game actually.
100%,
I
yeah.
can see it going either way. I personally,
What are you guys thinking?
oh God, I don't really know what I want to go with here.
Okay,
I
well,
think
I'll just say it right now. Baltimore's winning this game.
really.
Baltimore's winning this game.
That's like
Think?
that's
It's
Baltimore's
at Tampa.
It's at Tampa. Baltimore's winning this game. They will be motivated in Tampa, though.
I'm going with the Bucks here. I like the Bucks.
my brain is telling me
Quick
the
and pick 'em.
Ravens,
Give me something.
but my heart is telling me Buccaneers. I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm gonna take the Buccaneers as well.
4 times
I
this
love
episode.
that Baker Mayfield led Buccaneers offense.
I do too.
And I know he had a lot of interceptions on Sunday, but he had 1 more touchdown than that INT. He had 4 tutties, 3 INTs.
Yep.
I think that offense can fly, and I'm just hoping that they can outscore the Ravens.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm with
and
you on
then
that.
Our last game of the week, the other Monday night game, the Chargers go to Arizona to take on the Cardinals.
We all doubted the Chargers last week,
Bless you.
except Trevor
Thank you.
or Tyler. Excuse me.
I doubted the Chargers. I thought they were going to be terrible.
Who
Oh,
they
so
play?
you picked the Chargers?
Probably.
What are we talking about right now?
The Broncos-Chargers game last week. I picked
Oh,
the
I
Broncos,
picked the
you
Chargers.
picked
I
the
100%
Broncos.
picked the
I think I
Chargers.
picked the Chargers too because
So
I need
maybe you
J.K.
guys
Dobbins
picked the
to
Chargers.
do good.
But I don't know. I doubted the Chargers last week, and now I just don't really know what to do.
I like the Chargers here personally.
I'll let you guys copy my picks. It's the same as Trevor's. I like the Chargers here because I think they're going to get J.K. Dobbins the ball and be able to run on this Cardinals defense. I think the Chargers defense is good enough to hang with Arizona. Yeah.
Give me the Cardinals.
That's why I'm picking
Really?
the Cardinals too.
Huh.
I like Marvin Harrison. I know he was out last week
That's
or
fair.
got hurt last
I
week.
don't hate it. I can see it going either way.
I just
Me
think
too.
Kyler Murray's a pretty darn okay quarterback. I think
Yeah.
he's kind of underrated so far this year. So
Yeah.
He has
That's
been
fair.
underrated this year.
We're just gonna
The teams
kinda
on
throw it
bye
out.
are Chicago and Dallas for the record. So,
a terrible
hey, try
day.
not to lose a bye week just like KU did.
Yeah.
Case.
Good luck, Case.
hey, you too. And we've been flipped off.
And on that note,
That was a great episode.
Yeah, good episode, fellas.
Episode 7 is in the books. Make sure you guys follow our socials. We have a quick little game.
oh, yeah.
Kind of forgot about that. Let's throw that back up on the screen real quick.
Pull it up in show essentials.
Just 1 second.
I had no idea we were
So,
doing this,
yeah.
to be honest.
Thank you.
Let's clip this, by the way, for the TikTok and Instagram.
Make sure we get a
100%.
timestamp right there then.
Yep. So, yeah, this
It's
game,
$15.
pretty self-explanatory.
15.
So we'll go one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go first. I have $15. First, I'm not taking Mark Andrews for $3. Give me Sam Laporta for $1. So I have $14 left, and I'm going to take Amon-Ra St. Brown for $2. So I have $3 left, or I have $12 left. And then I'm going to take Justin Jefferson. So I have $7 left.
We're getting to type this in while you're struggling.
I'm getting Lamar Jackson for $4 and Saquon for $3. And that team is winning the Super Bowl, and that's the best team any of you guys will possibly.
I don't know what you said.
got
to
the
be
calculator
honest.
out.
I want to make sure I'm not out of here.
So I'm going to go over my totals again. I have Lamar for 4, Saquon for 3, that's 7. And then I have Justin Jefferson for 5, that's 12. And then I have Amon-Ra St. Brown for 2. And then I have Sam Laporta for 1, and that's $15. That's the best team that you're going to get.
No, it's not.
For $15, of course. Yes, it is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's all I'm going to say about that. How could you possibly not want Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson?
Because there's a better combo that you can make, and I guess I'll be the one to let you guys know. So, I'll take Joe Burrow for $3 here. At running back, I'll take Bijan Robinson for $2 here. So I'm at 5. With that, we're reuniting the LSU boys. We're getting Jay Jettas at $5, bringing us up to 10. Jamar Chase at $4 there, bringing us up to 14. And at 1, I'm going to get the most underrated tight end in the league, Sam Laporta, $15.
All right, I'm going to go. I think that's a great pick, Tyler. I think Laporta is a very obvious pick.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all have.
Especially
I
for
think we all have
price.
Laporta.
And
don't
I
we?
will say, I took this list. You can see it's from the Gridiron Network. I took
a
it off
little-
of
it's a little
Google
old.
Images. It's from
Old.
February of this year.
That is why Calvin Ridley is a $1 receiver. I think now he might be free. If you want to throw him on your team for free, go ahead. But I'm going to jump right in. I had Joe Burrow at $3. So we got a good quarterback. He's leading the league in touchdowns. I'm going to pair him up with Jamar Chase for 4 and A.J. Brown for 4. Then I'm going to take Saquon for 3 and Laporta for 1.
Fair
I
enough.
think the math works there.
It's hard to argue with any of this. I mean,
I know
these are
my
all
teams
great
better
players
than
up
all
here.
Yours, but it's okay.
I'm just happy no one's buying in on Puka Nacua hype, to be honest with
Absolutely
you.
not. I ended at 14. I didn't really know if I had to get to 15 or not.
Hey,
I
you
kind of
get
liked.
$1 in your pocket.
Yeah.
you can take Calvin Ridley.
You get an extra.
I had Mahomes as my QB. Love Mahomes. I think he's a quality quarterback.
It's a weirdo.
This is one that I was surprised that. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe
I'm at
Tyler
the top
took it
here.
too. Did you take it too? Nah, it doesn't matter. I picked Barkley for $3.
That was-
That's what I
yeah.
did.
Okay, you did that too. Yeah, I liked
you
I liked
both
Barkley.
did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra's an easy one. I cannot believe he's only 2. That surprised. That was a stunner for me.
Easy receiver.
Cooper Kupp for $3. I like Cooper Kupp, man. I really do.
He's a little injury prone.
I don't disagree with you, but still, I liked that.
Tell me
and
you
then
didn't want to splurge a little bit on like a Jamar Chase. or
I was
someone.
thinking about it. I really was. But and then everybody picked this Laporta. $1 for Laporta, steal in the century.
I
And
feel
then
like
got
we should switch Laporta and Hawkinson if we made this list.
Yeah.
What
because I
about
feel like-
Andrews?
And then I got $1 in my pocket for
Laporta should be the
For a bet.
3.
for a bet.
Yeah.
Andrews and Hawkinson should be the 2 and the 1, but
Yes.
obviously Hawkinson hasn't played all year with an injury, and Mark Andrews pretty much should have been injured the way he has not been receiving targets so far. But that is all we have for the 7th episode of the B Team Sports Show. It was a pleasure. Here are our socials right here. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Check
Be
out our
sure to
Spotify
check
and
out
YouTube.
the Instagram too. A lot of new content should be coming out.
Almost at
Big-
100.
We got some big changes.
Yeah.
Almost at 100, like you're
followers
saying.
special.
100
And
followers special.
be sure to check out the TikTok too, because I know Grant's been working really hard with
Yep.
that.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you guys. We'll see you later.